What initially felt like an inevitability now feels like an impossibility. No game could live up to the 12 years of hype, suspense, and the expectations fans have conjured. Despite rays of hope like Half-Life Alyx and Black Mesa doing their best to whet our appetites, there's been no talk of that sweet, sweet 3 that everyone's been waiting for. Well, not officially. In August of 2017, Mark Laidlaw, writer of Half-Life 1 and 2, published a script on his website for the episode 3 that never came. With this in tow, an intrepid group of fans band together to give the world what Valve wouldn't, the next step in the Half-Life universe. The result is one of the most promising looking fan games ever spawned. Get ready for Project Borealis. This is all the result of just over 60 people working in their free time. The development has been complicated from the outset. Utilizing Unreal Engine 4 as opposed to the aging Source engine meant a lot had to be made from the ground up. It wasn't the easy way to get it done, but the results speak for themselves. Now the devs can take advantage of all of the advances afforded to them by Unreal's powerful engine. It was crucial that the team capture that Half-Life feel, so extensive work has gone into making sure fine-tuned controls, visual cues, and iconic sounds make you feel right at home. They recreated Half-Life 2's mechanics from scratch, which is pretty impressive. That's not to say the game won't have plenty of new ideas to bring to the table. From its Arctic setting, new vehicles, expanded gravity gun capabilities, advanced physics implementation, and more, it's clear this isn't just going to be a rehash of what's come before. What initially started from a few pieces of concept art, a modest assortment of models, and a few songs has evolved into what you see before you. It isn't finished, far from it, but so many of the basic building blocks are there that it's easy to see the game's promise. Even those building blocks take a ton of time and work to get just right. Things like models need to be essentially reimagined due to the difference in resolution. Was that mishmash of muddy pixels a vent or a series of buttons? These are some of the questions concept artists, modelers, and texture artists have been hard at work answering, and we can't wait to see the results. The sound design has been totally reworked too. While there are sure to be familiar stings and effects mixed in for that warm, nostalgic buzz, the sound designers are toiling away on some wildly impressive stuff. They're taking into account and recreating the way sounds react to the environment, the direction the audio bounces back from after hitting a wall, calculating reverb based on the environmental layout, which materials absorb sound and which reflect it, and more. The resulting sound should be fully immersive, completely grounding you in that environment and that world. Among other impressive developments are vastly expanded gravity gun capabilities. It can sweep up a whole swath of items at once, making not only for an impressive technical showcase, but an awesome new ability with exciting gameplay ramifications. Optimization has been a key focus of the team too, to ensure all the spectacle doesn't come at the cost of a stable frame rate. Everything here is being rendered in real time, though I'm admittedly not sure on what kind of hardware. There are other fancy flourishes too, like the way glass breaks realistically when shot. The plan is to implement tools like Unreal's new Chaos physics engine when it's made available, so expect things to get even more impressive as development goes on. The jump to a newer engine wasn't just for a fresh coat of paint either. All of these technological advances open up more possibilities to the developers, both in a gameplay sense as well as a visual one. Now this isn't just a test map. This is intended to be an actual in-game level. Although it's obviously a work in progress, a lot of the groundwork has been laid, and the results show a ton of promise. Not bad for a group of unpaid workers with no budget. Now let's address the elephant in the room: Valve. How do we know they won't get the game shut down at any moment? While they technically could, they've been uniquely supportive of fan games in the past, even paving the road for them to become official products. Black Mesa, which started as a fan game, went on to get the thumbs up from Valve themselves, and while this may be a story for another time, it totally deserves it. Even some lesser efforts have been allowed to pop up on Steam. Hunt down the Freeman. So we don't think something with as much passion, effort, and potential as Project Borealis will have any trouble. Did we mention that the final game will be free? We didn't? Well, we're mentioning it now. It's a true passion project. None of the developers involved expect to make any money from the project. The only downside is that amassing staff who are willing to work just for the love of the project is a lot easier said than done. They're gonna need all the help they can get, and if that sounds like something you'd like to be a part of, you can. If you're a graphic artist, programmer, animator, or contact juggler who wants to make Half-Life 3 a reality, and you've got a few hours a week to spare, go for it. Links to both the official Discord and their YouTube channel can be found in the description below. You can also check out the links if you just want to keep up on all things Borealis. Regular updates, clear communication, and serious potential have made Project Borealis one that's easy to get excited about. Whether or not it pans out into a game that lives up to all that promise is anyone's guess, but I like what I've seen so far. It's easy to forget just how important Half-Life 1 and 2 were at the time of release. The original entry redefined narrative in games, and what first-person shooters could be. The sequel took things even further, telling a mature and thoughtful story while implementing some of the most advanced physics and visuals yet seen in games. The following 2 episodes continued to pair the series' industry-leading visuals with stellar storytelling and world-building to the delight of gamers the world over. But for as influential and beloved as the Half-Life series is, fans have had surprisingly little to be excited about since Episode 2 released over 12 years ago. While in Episode 3, or indeed Half-Life 3 itself, seemed to be right around the corner, years and even an entire decade passed without much of anything from the franchise. It's easy to see why expectations for any continuation of that storied mythos would be held to impossibly high standards, and the Project Borealis team has certainly got their work cut out for them. But with any luck, their passion and ingenuity will translate into a game that finally gives Half-Life fans the next chapter they've waited so long for. That's all for this episode. Hope you liked it. What about you? Any thoughts on Project Borealis? Why do you think Valve never gave us Episode 3 themselves? Do you actually hate Half-Life and you clicked on the video by accident? I want to hear it. Leave a comment down below, and if you could give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell, it'd be doing us a huge favor. What do you want to see next? Let us know. Till then, I'm Joey Nasser, this is The Cutting Edge, and I'll catch you next time.